Hey guys, sorry, long time no talk or whatever. I've been working really hard on getting Lagoon finished, and she is now up for sale. I have the samples and I'm going to show you, but I thought it would be neat to show you what it looked like going from the originals on up, but I guess I threw out the originals. That happens a lot. The paper clay original was pretty much destroyed when I made the junk mold. And when you make the mold, what you'll do is, when you're making your doll, you make your original, then you make your cast of that, which is called the junk cast. And you take one of the junk casts and you refine that, and then you take that refined junk cast and you send it to wherever you're going to have it professionally finished, and then they smooth out any imperfections they find, and then they create a new version based on that, and that's what you use for production. This is the original Lagoon from when I first started working on her. This is pretty much exactly what the junk cast was. This is made from the refined junk cast mold, and at that point on the junk cast I put on these the locks for the joints, refitting the knees, and she kind of sat around for a long time without me doing anything, because we moved from Los Angeles to San Jose. My husband started a new job. There's a lot of stuff going on that we didn't have a lot of time for me to work on the dolls. So I'm going to actually scoot the camera back so I can stand her up. Oops, knocked over the glue gun. And she might not stand for long. She's got pretty smooth joints, so she does pose, she does hold, and there were a couple of these hand casts that I did sell, but after her sitting around for a while and me looking at her, I realized there's some things I want to change, and I got the opportunity to have her professionally cast. So I wanted her to look as good as she possibly could, and I didn't like how short she was here. I lost some space on the original when I cut her apart, because originally this was all one piece, of course, and I cut the chest off, refined that, and made the joint, but I lost a little bit of material there, so she's turned out shorter than she was originally in the chest area, and that made her legs look out of proportion, and I didn't like that. And then I didn't like how short her neck is. This is actually a different faceplate than the original Lagoon faceplate. This is Lear, who I took one of Lagoon's faceplates and altered it, and this is her junk cast. And I actually, after I made this cast, I decided I didn't like the way that one looked, so I went back to the original and I opened her eyes a bit more and softened her features, changed the shape of her profile and everything. I don't know how much you can see because it's she's ready for me to recast her. So she's got primer and shit all over her. Anyway, so I didn't like the shape of her thighs anymore. I thought they were a little too skinny, and she needed a little bit more meat on her bones. So before I sent the original off, before I sent the master off, because that's what the junk cast becomes once you've refined it to the point that you're ready to make another mold from it. It becomes your new master. And it's usually resin, because like I said, the paper clay originals fell apart when I took them out of the mold. Her hands were completely destroyed, and the resin ones hold up a lot better. If you're going to send it to someone to have it professionally cast, you definitely want to have a resin to go, and you also want to make your own mold before it goes, in case your original gets lost in the mail, or you find that, oh, they changed something, I don't want you to change it, here's another cast of the original, it should look like this. So what I did was I This is pieces from the other mold, and she's very, very pale white. This is Polytech resin. This is Alumilite, and it doesn't have any UV stabilizer in it. This Alumilite doesn't, because I was lazy. So it's a bit softer. It's very smooth to the touch, and it's a little transparent. So I don't know how well you can see, but she's got, whoops, she has no magnets, so her head falls off a lot. Neither of them have any magnets in. I didn't want to waste magnets on junk casts or personal casts. They were basically there for me to, they were just there for me to make clothes and stuff on. So you can see I made her hips a little bit bigger, and I made this part taller. I sanded and smoothed her breasts a little bit more, and I actually changed the shape of her collarbone a bit. You can't really tell from here, but it's flatter. And I think I changed her butt a little bit too, but it's something that was more a pet peeve with me. I don't think you can really tell. Her neck's longer. That was pretty much the only things I changed. The rest is, like, everything else was the original, just like her. So this is basically exactly what I sent to the production company to get it professionally cast, and this is the sample that they sent back. Let's see if I can move everyone backwards a little so we all fit on the desk. Sorry about the lighting. It's a beautiful day outside, so that helps a little bit. The window's open. Nice and cool. Tomorrow it's supposed to be like 85 though. Gotta love California weather. California weather and a lack of central air conditioning. So you're either freezing or you're hot. But I don't miss snow that much. Well, I don't miss driving in it. I miss seeing it, but I don't miss driving in it. I'm from Illinois originally, from the St. Louis area. So I grew up with lots of snow and cold weather and Indian summers. There's no rain and it just gets so hot and humid, but it just won't rain. So there is the sample. And she is available for pre-order on my website, which I have in the notes below the thing. Sorry, it's been a long couple of days, so I'm kind of out of it. She comes with the face-up shown and glass eyes and a bag to put her in. So let's see if I can bring her closer without the camera freaking out. That's the natural skin. She also comes in white skin. I can grab it without knocking everything down. And you can see what she looks like without a face-up. I'm going to ask if we can have dolls, if people can order them without the face-up, but I'm not sure. If nothing, you know, if it does come with a face-up, you can take it off, obviously. It's pretty easy to take off. But I wanted to, you know, it's easier to say, yes, I can have a face-up than saying, no, you can't have one, because I know I won't have time to do face-ups all myself. So this is the white skin. And she turned out real pretty. I'll probably, I can't sell any of the samples obviously, so they'll all be with me for a while. I have another couple samples in some skin tones that I'm not going to be releasing or using unless I do really well on this pre-order and can afford to do another one, because I have a minimum order that I have to fulfill. Before I can make an order, I need to have at least 30 dolls bought and paid for. So the pre-order is from now, which is July 29th, until August 1st. And I'm taking PayPal. Unless PayPal isn't available in your country, just send me a note and we'll work something out. International shipping is $45. US shipping is $20. And I'm pretty flexible on stuff like that, or if there's something else you need, just let me know and send me an email, leave me a message. I can't reply to messages on YouTube for some reason, it just doesn't work. So that's what I've been working on, and then I'll show you progress on the doll that I've been working on, the mini machina. It's all in here. Camera without hopefully making anyone sick. And all her pieces are in here. I haven't had a lot of time to work on her with trying to get this done and working on stuff for my day job and some comic stuff I'm working on. I cut her legs apart, and I'm sorry that there won't be any photos of that ever because it's just too dangerous to do while I'm got the camera on. And so you can see that the knee part doesn't actually fit in there. I have to cut this open and do some more work and some sanding to make that fit. But soon she will have working knees. And I've refined this. I had another video, but it was mostly just me sanding and smoothing her face and the other faceplate that I had made for Lagoon. But it's mostly sanding. It's like 15 minutes of me sanding, and I can't figure out how to fast forward so that you can see it in high speed. But we'll see if I can get that to work. I think one of my computers has a version that will allow me to do that. So here is her torso. And I'm hoping she'll be able to do this and stuff like that. And I doubt I'll be getting her professionally cast because she doesn't fit the criteria for most ball jointed dolls because she can't wear shoes, she can't wear a wig, she's just a robot. And I don't know that I can get enough pre-orders. Like I said, I have to have 30 at least, and that's a lot. So there's a catch in here, so that when this part goes in, that should keep her belly from popping out, although it fits pretty snug. She doesn't have a lot of movement there. But I'm more afraid she'll pop from side to side, so I gotta figure out if I need to catch there or not. And here's her face. And I had to dig out some cardboard there that was causing some weird reactions to her face. And she's got a little goldfish monkey face, which I like. I'm very, very happy with her face. And I started one of the hardest parts, which is hands. And these look like some kind of crap at the moment, and I admit that. That's actually one that was rejected because it doesn't match this one, and this hand is a little too small for her. This hand is a little bit more in size, and you're probably going, God almighty, that is a very funky looking hand. How are you going to fix that? And Lagoon's hands, which I'll show you the earlier cast. This is how they turn out after doing a lot of sanding and refining. Actually, this hand is better. I doubt that the mini machina will have fingernails, but it just takes time and sanding and patience and a lot of staring at your own hands and whatever body part you're trying to do.